Right. The time of now shook the clock. We'll follow this November 13th county council meeting to order. We'll begin with an invocation by Councilman McDonald, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Jeremiah 17:5, trust is he who trusts in man depends on flesh for his strength to turn his heart from the world. Let us pray. Lord God, we're grateful for this day. We're grateful for all the blessings that you bless us with. We ask you to be with us, be with our country, be with our county, be with our state, be with this world. Lord, we ask that you give us the courage to go by your word as our guidelines. We ask that you watch over us, be with us, and bless us with the wisdom that we need. I'd like to thank we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, thank you all for coming out tonight. See that Representative Jones is in the house. We'll recognize you. Thank you for your service in Columbia. I guess you missed it here. You have to come back. Is that what it is? Yeah, that's it. No, we are glad to have you tonight. Before we get started, I do want to recognize a few folks. That is our veterans armed services. There are a few in the house tonight. I see them, recognize them. Celebrated a great Veterans Day on Saturday. I had the pleasure of seeing Hampton and Clinton during his presentation. He was really good. I know Lawrence had one at the same time if you were able to make that. But we just want to say thank you to the veterans who serve our country and allow us the ability to be here tonight and do what we do. For y'all and what you've done in the past, and those that are serving today do, we wouldn't do this. So thank you all, the veterans. Up first is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Ms. Rankin, second by Ms. Clark. We do have one addition tonight. Make sure I word it correctly. We're going to put it in new business in between F and G. It is. This will be first reading of ordinance 955, and that is amending the Octagon NCIP to add project Tomahawk. Thank you. We got a bunch on this list tonight. Should I get the right one?
Yeah.
This will be very similar to ordinance 953, just a different project. Are there any other additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approving the agenda as amended, please raise your right hand. All right, up next we have approval of minutes for two meetings, regular session on October 9th as well as the council workshop. The same day. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve October 9th, 2023 regular and October 9th, 2023 council workshop minutes.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Carroll.
Second.
Second by Mr. Crowe. Are there any additions or deletions to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. All right, up next, we do have a couple of special recognitions tonight. I'll start first with Miss Clark.
Good evening. Just recognition, I'm gonna ask Mr. and Mrs. Short to join me at this time. I think I'm not. If y'all would come up here with me. Good to see you. At this time, we'll have a certificate of recognition, acknowledgement, and community gratitude on behalf of Lawrence County, South Carolina. It is deep pride that we, the Lawrence County Council, hereby recognize with extreme honor Dr. Barbara Short and Ms. Carol. I know y'all surprised. I did not tell them, y'all. I just asked them to join me tonight. So they surprised me and showed up. I didn't say, would you come and join me tonight? But my favorite. On behalf of the council, we, the council, we recognize you. The inspiration to keep going. Y'all, the word just can't come to mind, but I have. And I want y'all to know. Short, some 20 years ago, well, before that, I'm gonna tell y'all this, he was my principal in the middle school, and he patted me one time. He got me one time from that day forward. I didn't have to go to the office no more. Because he gave me an option, either get one lick, go home. And I knew I wasn't gonna go home because my grandmama didn't play that. So he pelted me one time, but after that I grew up. In 20 plus years, he gave me a job. I've been working with school 20 some odd years. So I want to say, Mr. Short, thank you for the opportunity to work. But it took that working one time in the middle school when he was Princeton, come back and hire me to work with School District 55. And I've been there over 20 some odd years. And then after I've been there, he put me with his wife, Miss Short. And I've been working with her maybe 15, maybe 15 of those years. So I do want to know from the bottom of my heart, I do love you all. It ain't nothing. But get back to this, before I begin to cry. Whereas Mr. Short, Mr. Robert and Carolyn Short believe in serving the people, serving the community and making a difference. And whereas Dr. Robert Short worked in the field of education for 47 years, while Ms. Carolyn Short continued to work for Lawrence School District 55, going on 56 years, a combination of 103 years of service they have put in to this county. Whereas the Shorts have always shared a concern for the welfare and the best interest of youth and young adults, as well as finding reasonable and fair solution to any issue that may arise involving young youth in Lawrence County School District 55. And whereas Dr. Robert Short and Miss Carolyn Short were a tremendous, now forgive me. I'm just thinking back. I'm sure.
Give my hand.
Carolyn. Thank you.
Let's do that. Thank you.
We're just happy and for this honor, we're very appreciative And, we thank everybody for this honor. And it's been a pleasure to serve so long. Thank you. We really didn't know.
I want to say thank you for your service, 103 years and growing. I don't know if Ms. Short has any plans to retire anytime soon. But we are thankful for all you do for this community and the children of this community. Know of your great service with physical and special needs, specifically, which is a very, very needed area of attention. And we thank you for dedicating your lives to contributing to that. And we appreciate you so much.
Well, I do have a voice and I want to say thank you. Sure. Very much. The bottom of my own heart is saying it is a shock. It's not a surprise, but it is a shock. She just make her expectations and I just follow her along with whatever she says, but it is certainly, sirs and ma'am, a deep honor for us to be together as husband and wife to accept this very precious honor. So we do appreciate it, but love you all and thank you so very much too as well. Thank you.
Thank you all. Clark, I'll take that as a formal motion from you of recognition. I will second it. And I will call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Thank you all both for coming. We appreciate you more than we know. Up next, we have one more. I'm going to call on Ms. Becky Bagwell. I know you have a few folks here to introduce. I'll let you do that. I will go ahead and recognize Mr. Chris McCord. He is our new director of 911. And I'm glad he's here this evening with you as well. But I'll let you come to the mic and introduce those that you need to. Congratulations on your new promotion as well.
I'm Becky Bagwell. I'm Deputy Director of Emergency Management. I just came out of the 911 service. I have Danielle Prater. She is the Deputy Director for 911. Chris McCord, the new Director for 911. They have a list and a half. Brandon Feeler, he is the Deputy Director for Cherokee County, and along with the first Vice President of the Acton, South Carolina chapter. And I have Mitch Fulmer here. He is the Director of Florence County Emergency Management and 911, and he is with the Acton International Executive Council member. And they're all here to help present this work.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
And this is for you. Caleb Gossett, he's one of our telecommunicators. So we're here to present the Continental Award to Caleb. Before we do, let me tell you a little bit about the award. This is a yearly award that presented to an individual in each agency in recognition of their exceptional professionalism in the field of emergency communications. They are an inspiration and example to others. Some of the criteria for this award is a positive attitude toward all aspects of the job, willingness to be a team player, ability to earn and maintain the respect and high esteem of their colleagues, flexibility in spouse, and job performance above and beyond the call of duty. And so Caleb is an assistant supervisor for the 911 department. He was promoted to this position within the past year, and due to his extensive knowledge of our operations and his successful leadership skills, and he's been with us 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years. So he's really excelled. He's earned the respect of his team members and our field responders. He always goes the extra mile to ensure the 911 center is operating at its full potential. He's pursued many certifications that are not mandatory. He does it on his own without anyone asking. And his positive outlook has a ripple effect in the dispatch center, and his dedication is unwavering.
So working with Caleb is like a breath of fresh air, He always sees the positive in the worst scenarios. His fun-loving attitude allows others to cope with the stress of our day-to-day responsibilities. He is thorough and knowledgeable and always willing to lend a helping hand and a smile. This last year has been challenging to him professionally due to his new responsibilities that came along with his promotion to assistant supervisor. But in the last year, we have seen him grow in his new position and face these challenges with an amazing amount of grace. It is uncommon for the recipient of the Palmetto Award to receive this award in this type of setting. However, I am very honored that we are able to present it to him personally because I'm so very proud. Sorry. Of his accomplishments and how far he has grown and continues to grow, not only himself, but our department as a whole.
I've only got to know Caleb. This is beginning of my third week. But during the first 2 weeks, I tried several times to get to know him. But I can assure you, he's a hard worker because every time I've been down in the communication center, unless it's to avoid me, he's always answering a phone call or doing something on the computer. The ride from the communication center here when we kidnapped him, bring him here. That's the most conversation I've got to have with him so far. But I want to let you know, I'm proud of you and I appreciate the hard job that you do for the work that you do.
On behalf of South Carolina APCO, congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, South Carolina APCO, and and we greatly appreciate the opportunity to come present this one to Caleb. Understanding that 911, they're your first responders, the true first responders in the field, and the travel to show us the honor of Caleb is an honor. So I greatly appreciate the opportunity for us to come do that. Keep up good work, young man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Your family? You don't wanna come with them? Yes. We'll get one of them, we'll never get rid of the other one.
Thank you, gentlemen, both for coming and traveling so far to join us here tonight.
It's our pleasure.
Time out of your day and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay.
Caleb, we want to thank you and council for your dedication and your hard work. It's important that you're recognized at the state level and we're proud of your national staff. Don't let them work you too hard though. It's not probably being so good. They might. All right. Next are our reports to council. And we'll start with the State Pregnancy Center. Ms. Brenda Stewart, while you come up, if you would like to sit at the table, or you got a vote, whatever the best for you, while she comes up. Ms. Stewart had approached me a while back. She's gonna give you more details on their timeline and when they start. But they are growing greatly and they're looking to expand into brick and mortar so they can serve people better. And she's gonna tell us a little bit about the State Pregnancy Center today, and then we're gonna discuss what opportunities we may have to assist them. Go ahead.
Chairman Patterson and members of council, thank you for the opportunity to discuss with you really the exciting launch of much needed service in Lawrence County. The Upstate Pregnancy Resource Center doing business as Upstate Pregnancy Center. So the vision of the center, and you have much of these notes in your packet, is to support moms and dads in the journey from pregnancy to parenthood. And it's not always easy or planned. You have statistics in your packet, the latest of which is 2021. We don't have 2022 numbers, but for Lawrence County, for the ages of 10 to 19, there were 75 reported pregnancies, 15 of which had abortions. This is just the numbers for children, basically. So you know that there are other mothers out there. And the number is much higher if you consider those, and all of them need to be reached. So you have pictures that are showing on the screen here of one of our initiatives, the diaper drive, that I'll talk about in a minute. This is one of the first ones that we have, and it's been a growing response ever since. But with the heartbeat bill or law now in place, these girls and women need somewhere to go when they find themselves in an unplanned pregnancy. And right now in Lawrence County, there really is no one providing these services. We are that ray of hope and much more for them because individual empowerment comes with education and support that the center will bring. Services that we will ultimately be providing at the center include pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, ongoing support services, Earn While You Learn program. This is a very unique program where, again, we empower both moms and dads to learn how to be better co-parents, to be better moms, better dads, engaged parents. We need more of that. And as they do that, they earn mommy money or daddy dollars, and they can go into our store and literally buy items for them. This is modeled after the Carolina Pregnancy Center in Spartanburg. They currently have this program and they have experienced, you know, just some really wonderful stories coming out of that. Moms and dads saying that it's the first ever item that they have on their own purchased for their child. It gives them a sense of empowerment and kind of responsibility. It also shows and demonstrates to them personally that they can do this and that there are resources there to help them. Another program that Carolina Pregnancy Center is doing that we are particularly interested in is the Dad to Dad program. It's time that we also support the fathers in these situations and we empower men to be the heads of households and fathers, whether you do it in the get married, have a baby order or otherwise. It's important that men understand that as a father to a child, you have a right and responsibility to be in that child's life, and we want to help support them when they can be that. So our timeline, we filed in 2022 for 501c3 status. We are approved as a South Carolina nonprofit already, and our federal status is pending with the IRS, and we're seeking support for that from state senators to get that approved. We don't have any issues with it, we just haven't heard. The track is usually 12 to 18 months at this point. We had a temporary board of four board members, sorry. Myself, Pastor Chad Reynolds, who is here to my right, and Representative Stuart Jones, and then one other, Karen Accavelli. She is not from Lawrence County, but she is on the South Carolina Citizens for Life board, and she's also on our board as a temporary board member. We have created an advisory board of 18+ members of the community. The idea there is that something like this, to be successful, needs to have community buy-in. We need to have people from all walks of our community. Our county is very spread out. We need to have good representation. Some included in that would be our entire Lawrence County delegation. We're very proud that they are all supporting and participating as advisory board members. Members of the Carolina Pregnancy Center in Spartanburg, Lewisburg, who is here, Shelley Carlis, who's also here to my right, Jamie Fields, she's also an architect, so she's done a good job already designing floor plan for us. Penny Greer with Westminster Church, Nisi Luke at the YMCA in Clinton, Peggy Nybert from Thornhill, Ann Patterson, Councilman Luke Rankin, Pastor Chad Reynolds, who I already mentioned from Westminster, Bobby Smith, Dion Speaks, myself, and Lynn Todd, who is with District 55, and she also does parental training and classes for young teenage parents. We also have tremendous support from churches. We recently had a meeting with churches, and they were very supportive and all ready to get on board. Business owners and other citizens throughout the county. We also recently received our membership in the South Carolina Association of Pregnancy Care Centers. So that network, we will be the 27th pregnancy center in South Carolina. There's one in all surrounding counties, including Union. There's just small and part-time, but everybody has one except for here. So anyone here needing services right now is having to go outside of the county. So our first step was to create the diaper drive-through initiative, and that literally was twofold in purpose. First, we wanted to confirm the need and start small. So we raised some money seed money first from Westminster Presbyterian Church and then from others in the community. And then we went public with it. We have diaper drop-off locations throughout the county and people donate diapers and wipes all the time. Tomorrow there will be one in Clinton. We alternate Lawrence and Clinton each month. They've gotten larger, fluctuating in numbers sometimes, but we see with great consistency, some of the same people over and over. They get information on Carolina Pregnancy Center, so if they have a need we can't serve right now, they can take care of it. We've had 13 drive-throughs. We've served 219 families since the inception, and it's literally a drive-through like that. They fill up, they don't have to get out of their car with a proper ID for themselves and to validate that they are the guardian of that child, then they get the necessary diapers and wipes. And we've had over 22 local volunteers along with Carolina Pregnancy Center that brings their van. And if they need a pregnancy test or even an ultrasound in that van, then they have the licensed people that can do that on the spot. We've also had some clients who have called the day of at Carolina Pregnancy Center and said, are you still doing that today? And cried and said, I need diapers so bad. So we know that we're filling a need. We just know that there's more that we can do. The next step for us is finding a location. And this entire time we've been looking for that location. And one of the things that we were looking at was leasing options. We need to be central so that we can be easily accessed from the interstate and from various areas in our county. All of our rental options did not come to fruition, and that is why we are here today seeking an opportunity to perhaps secure a property in a professional park so that we could possibly build our own building. I know that the budget for building is a lot up front, but then the ongoing expense is much less. We have already been in talks in our partnership with Brookwood Church, which is in Simpsonville, not in Lawrence County. They are very interested in joining forces. They have what's called the Pay It Forward ministry. And we are expecting that a large portion, if not most, of our labor, which is a lot of building, will be through the Pay It Forward ministry. So electricians, engineers, contractors, subcontractors. So that's lining up well. Fundraising, just so you know, we have a line of fundraising already started. Baby bottle boomerangs, we've raised some money. We have a floor plan, so they'll be naming rights for the building, love gifts, grants, and then some annual events, including a run walk for life, which will be in January. That's Sanctity of Life Month. And then a Labor of Love Gala. Mark your calendars for the Saturday before Valentine's Day this year. And February, I'm sorry, of 2024, and that will be an annual event. We definitely believe that this is a much needed service for Lawrence County. We think it's a viable option for us and very doable. So yes, your consideration. And for those that might think this is a reach, I do want to say that I have background in launching 2, if not 3 other nonprofits and running successful fundraisers for them. One that I did in 2022 in Greenville for the Vietnam POW reunion raised $353,000 to bring them here at no charge. So I can just tell you that we're up for the challenge. So at this time, I'll answer any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions about the Upstate Pregnancy Center's mission and their ongoing needs and drives?
I did not see the mission, but I saw the vision, and you're saying your vision is your mission.
Yes.
And the age that you're serving is just to the age of 19?
No, ma'am, those are the only statistics that we can get from the state. They don't report on the ones that are older. So what we're trying to say is those are the reported for that age of 10 to 19. We know there's more, it's just that those are not reported publicly.
But you at any age, 45 if they can.
Absolutely, absolutely. We will be open to serving any of them. And I think the most important thing for us too is that it's not just about making sure that they have somewhere to go, that first stop, that scary moment for them, but it's a long-term journey. We also want to make sure that we empower them and educate them and that they know there's somewhere for them to go. We have nurses and doctors already ready to volunteer. We're also gonna be looking for a temporary place so we can start some of these other deeper services more than the diaper drive before the building is out, but you know, it is a journey, and a journey is not a one-stop shop, you know, it takes time, and we wanna make sure that they know, that we're here for them for the long haul.
Have you addressed any of this with the hospital system here?
I
know
haven't
we
been to
had
the
a-
hospital, it's well over a year ago, might even be 16, 18 months, and it was more of a trade services kind of thing, and I think the clientele we're talking about are not even the people that would come to the emergency room at times, so, as we get more established, we'll certainly look to them if we need it, but we already do have, a list of doctors that are interested in volunteering, and then nurses, so they'll have to go through the standard of training that goes along with these services to be able to work there.
What about the health department? You haven't talked with them? They have examining rooms and everything, if you visit the one that we have just in the old.
I think the services that we provide in addition, though, coupled with it are more than just what the health department is giving with the classes and the education and the other programs. So it's more of a full-blown and focused, you know, not just on the individual, but also the family unit or the structure, however it looks for that individual or couple.
But they serve the whole person, the health department, so they serve the whole person. So that's why I guess I don't have anything against a 501(c) organization, but I do have some questions in regard to something that we already providing to an extent, not giving out the diapers maybe, but we do have some services here that we might could build on to make things better for the people who we are seeing. And the statistic data, the data you gave us was just only between the age of 10 and 19. So I don't know who else you're serving and the number that you're serving. I don't have anything against helping people who need help. But I really want to make sure that we are helping somebody and we're just not going around in circles. Because I don't like to duplicate. I feel like I like to build something up and make it better than what it is, than just to duplicate something, just to have a 501(c). And I heard you mention something about 27 centers in the state.
There's 26, this would be the 27th.
Okay, so it's, and but you said every county have one and we got 46 counties.
No, I said that not every county
Oh, you
has
said
one.
not every.
I said every county surrounding us does.
Every county.
Greenwood has one, Greenville has a Piedmont center, Spartanburg has one, Union has one, and I believe Newberry has one. So just the ones surrounding us.
I think that's all I got to ask right now.
Any other questions on the pregnancy center we discussed? Other things? I think you got that else. There's a piece of property that the county owns. It's nice. Probably technologically savvy. So, the hospital. And of course, behind it, you have all different kinds of medical offices, dentist office, chamber of commerce, back here. DSS. Probably 2 acres, that piece of property was given to Senior Options. In 1999, by the county council.
No.
Thanks, Brian. I can't, I'm sorry. So 1999, ordinance 473, it was donated, and then I guess that program on that spot never came to fruition, and in 2014, it was reverted back to the county. for an opportunity like this with the pregnancy center, obviously, I think it makes sense being out in the medical park, being near the hospital, in like manner. And I know that you had approached several different buildings out there and just nothing came to fruition. The building you're looking at, I came up around 5,000 square feet. Does that sound about right?
Yes.
I think that would be a good parcel for it. If council does elect to proceed forward with donating this, I would ask two things. One would be a callback in case the building never got built. Or two, that should the center ever become a for-profit center or cease to exist, be sold, that at that time, the county be reimbursed for the value of the property. I think that would be appropriate, as to not lose value of the property. The property out there is pretty valuable. Mr. Crookshanks, I know, what's the value these days of an acre in that park?
Probably somewhere close to 60,000 an acre.
All right. So I want us to consider a number, maybe not that high, but a number that's appropriate for us to recoup that should it be sold in the future, which hopefully it won't in our lifetime. Hopefully it'll be a very prosperous center and do great service community for decades to come, and that won't be an issue we have to worry about. But I think it is important we protect the county's interest too. Just in case, because none of us have that magic crystal ball, or if you do, please call them. But opinions from council, is this something that anybody's interested in pushing forward on or pursuing? I feel like the background's been done. It sounds like you have a pretty good board of folks in the community that have the know-how and the ability to support it. I think the delegation, I appreciate Representative Jones being here. I'm sure there's some state funds that y'all are guiding for and all that stuff as well.
Yes, I'm glad to mention that, as a member of the South Carolina Association of Pregnancy Care Centers, we are eligible to receive a percentage or an amount from the allocation of the proviso funds, provided that continues annually at the state level. At some point that may go away. But they're working on that now because it's relatively new. I think 2022 was the first year. And so they're looking at making sure that certain criteria are met. So it's not meant for those funds to be used for employee salaries or recurring expenses. It's meant for capital expenditures, training programs that you're implementing, one-off things that can help these centers, launch or advance. Yes, we would be eligible for that funding as well. So that would be considered some seed money.
Of the 26 that are in existence now, how many of those are nonprofits?
I don't have an answer. I'm assuming most, but I would have to check to see.
I assume no counties running those types of services.
I know at least 3 big ones surrounding us. So Greenwood, Greenbelt, and Spartanburg are nonprofits. They're self-sustaining.
I think, yes, sir, go ahead.
I'm inclined to go along with this.
I agree. I think it's important that services like that be not government ran. It keeps all the politics out of them and anything like that. It allows the doctors to do the best care for the patients and take some of those strings away that it fortunately gets tangled up in when it's county or state ran. Any other councilor here is I think a motion.
I like to hear some younger people on this board. Every name I heard was 40 and over.
Look, how old are you?
Great transition.
Yeah, down to you.
I am in my mid-20s. I'm 26. But it is an honor to be a part of this board. I'm very excited for what the Upstate Pregnancy will bring to Lawrence County. It is going to be a tremendous asset. But due to ethical reasons, I do want to be above board. So I will refrain from discussion or a vote on this topic. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Obviously, this would at a minimum take 3 readings, but Mr. Crookshank, you advise us on the motion that we need. I think we'd all like to see something drafted for us to decide on have a recommendation?
Well, I think it's one, maybe a two-part motion. One, to support the program that has been presented, and number two, as to how you want to transact the land. My suggestion, because so we don't end up with a 14-year lag like we did the last time, is to grant to them an option, first right of refusal or something along those lines, so that when they're ready to build, then we can transfer the property over. If it's transferred over now, program does not succeed or they can't build, then it's going to be sitting there like it did with the senior options. That protects them, that they know they're going to have that land, but the transfer wouldn't take place until such time as they're ready to construct.
Do vote on bills in name only all the time on these kilos and stuff, and can you do that in this situation, or is that limited to economic development?
No, we can do it fairly generic, fill in the blanks as we carry forward, so the council can see. With the clawbacks that Mr. Patterson was talking about, there are certain things that need to be in there, possibly even an agreement with the organization, so that there's no misunderstandings as to what the clawbacks are, that they know what they've got to meet in order to go forward. So,
Mr. Chairman, I'm prepared to make that motion.
Sorry, before you do, I would like to ask, where are you in your fundraising process on that building?
We have started soft start on that, and we're gonna do a public launch. My question to the suggested timeline is, would we have authorization or permission to have events, outdoor events and fundraising there? So a lot of fundraising is, you have to have the vision, and a lot of having the vision is to have an event on a location. This is where it's going to be on site, with, vision.
we can accomplish that with it. We have a facilities use agreement. So any property owned by the county, it's just a little short form that says you're going to use it. That's not a big deal.
Let's do name only. Let's do a motion, name only to enter into sell contract on parcel 534-00008 with the Upstate Pregnancy Center, and allow between now and the next meeting, the county attorney to draft something, and then we will get with the Upstate Pregnancy Center and ensure that everyone's happy on both sides, and we'll have that in formal writing for second reading.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I'll take that as a motion for Mr. Tribble. I'll second the motion. Is there any other discussion?
Are we saying for this for Lawrence County, upstate, or this upstate pregnancy center is the title that all of them have before they have the county?
No, ma'am, that is the name that we gave particular center.
This is the name
For the one for Lawrence
County.
County Center, yes, we use
Okay.
that as a title. Just because from a searchable reason online and things like that, it'll come up in more searches and with a wider county. So we didn't put the name in it. The name will be on our website, and other things will include a lot of the geographic descriptions, Lawrence County, the address, those kinds of things. But this is just, Upstate Pregnancy Center is just for Lawrence County.
And this is our first reading
Correct. Entitled.
in title only regarding the land. What are we gonna have anything regarding the mission of the program?
We're not controlling any of their programming.
I know we can't control that program, but I thought, what did you say, Sandy? You said
Well,
it was
I think the
part.
agreement to transfer plan would be that they're going to do certain things with regard to their mission and program, and without dictating what their program is. But one of the conditions would be that they're going to raise funds and build a building for these purposes, as outlined by Bruno. So, and you will send me some information.
Yes, sir.
Email.
Yeah, it's, as per council, we'll be drafting all the documents, and it'll address all of that, for the next reading. It'll be a 3-month process, so we'll have plenty of time to deliberate, and change if needed. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed? Abstentions. Motion carries 5-0 to 2. And Mr. Rankin, if you would just in writing via email, notify the clerk of your refusal. That will for the record. Thank you. Ms. Stewart, thank you for coming. Board, Representative Jones, all those that are in attendance for this purpose, we appreciate you and your support of this program and all the great work that it'll do in this community. Thank you very much. All right, up next, I'll call on the county administrator. Thomas, I see the DNR agreement. Is the DSS MOU?
It's not, but I'd like to give a report to council on that while Representative Jones is here.
Okay. Stewart. He wants to talk about DSS.
Oh, okay. I want to give a quick shout out. Under reports to council, in last year's state budget, our delegation worked diligently to secure funding through a proviso measure to provide approximately $1.5 million to renovate a facility over in Clinton to house the future growth of DSS. If it weren't for the tremendous help from our delegation, Mr. Jones is sitting here right now, we wouldn't be able to have this. So what I need the council's approval on, if you're willing to grant that, is for me and the county attorney to start working with DSS and enter in any kind of agreements they have to accept that funding from that proviso measure. So thank you for all of your diligent help.
Thank you very much. That's a big deal. I'm sure y'all been in conversations on projects we have going on and being able to get them into a new facility and a larger space that more fits their current needs instead of the 1980s building that they're in. Is going to be tremendous for the citizens of this county, and we appreciate the delegation's help on that. Go ahead.
I might say, I mean, at any time, if this council or anybody here needs, help on that side of the equation, please, you've got my number and everybody can reach out to me for any of those things. So we're hoping to get the Case Center.
Yes,
very soon. That's the next big thing.
I retired and I need some help.
Thank you, Roger. The case, the school district's working on a data center. They're being very supportive of that. Because if they didn't do it, we'd have to. So thank you, Stuart. Thank you. All right, so DSS, you need let's do a motion to allow the county attorney after review. County administrator after review of the county attorney to enter into an MOU with DSS to accept funds allocated by the General Assembly, as well as negotiate with the city of Clinton to come up with an MOU to be represented to council on that relationship moving forward. I can make that one. So moved. Second by Mr. Carroll. And just, I know that was a lot of words, but we're gonna accept money from the state, and then Thomas is going to work with City of Clinton to enter into an agreement because of the building that they're renovating is owned by the City of Clinton, and of course by state statute we are required to provide space. So we want to have a strong MOU as to who is doing what inside of Clinton's building. So that's what we're doing. Are there any questions or discussion on that motion?
Have they decided they're not gonna move back in the building again, they just gonna stay in the city of Clinton?
I guess they can ask anytime they want to, but they have no go where council elects them to go. And we do have, it just said we have to provide a building, does not have any specifications on how we do so. So that is at our discretion.
But Ms. Anderson, to add to that, we've been working with DSS on the design and the layout as well as the city of Clinton. So everybody's pretty much on the same sheet of music right now. We had to get to that point to secure the funding. And the next step will be kind of putting everything together. So we're excited.
Dr. Chevigny did call me earlier. She had a conflicting meeting in Clinton tonight. And otherwise she would have been here, but she wanted to express her thanks for us moving forward with this project. Oh, good. Good.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, that's great that she said that. She's new in that role, and I think they're doing a great job so far. So we're great to have her leadership. Is there any further discussion? Here none, I'll call for the motion. All those in favor of approving, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Did you get all that? The resolution. Thank you. Then also the DNR request, Thomas.
Yes, sir. I'll make this one quick. Our 250th committee, you know, they're working around the clock to get everything squared away for the upcoming celebration. So they are working with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources to add signs at the Belfast House, which is it's on Highway 56 south of Clinton and Johanna. These two signs will mark two Revolutionary War sites, one being Fort Williams and the Battle of Mudlick Creek. So basically, long story short, they just want to put some signs up saying, here is this location. And so we are working with DNR and the 250 to make that happen. I'm seeking council approval for Lawrence County to enter in an agreement with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources for the placement of these two signs on their property, pending further review by the county attorney.
All right, I do want to add to that. I did talk with Mr. Seegers, who y'all know is the chairman of the Chester Centennial Committee here in the county. And they are 250th, which we have graciously donated to. They're funding this. This is not any extra money out of our pocket, but with DNR, we have to be the transitional agency to install the signs, but all the costs will be incurred by the 250th committee.
The area where that is located is called Connors.
That is correct.
South Carolina.
All right, do I have a motion to authorize the county administrator to enter into an agreement with SCDNR? Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Crowe. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. So, all right, up next, public comments. We do have one sign up, Miss Nancy Garrison.
Next year's improvement in South Carolina. First, I of course want to make this clear. I'm absolutely not against growth and development. But I wanted to let you know, I'm not speaking this to oppose this development. But this is the reserve at Harris Springs. It just come before the planning commission for a variance request last month. But I am want to speak to the fact that I still don't feel that we're following all the regulations and procedures in the process. So I have just a couple of examples from that meeting and some of the information online. Our ordinance reads on page 21, D4, that copies of a variance request and submittal of preliminary plat and or construction site plan of a proposed development shall be presented to the planning department at least 20 working days prior to the next scheduled planning commission meeting. Nowhere in that packet was there an application that could be seen, you know, by the public, because this was a packet that was coming for a variance request. It was not in there whatsoever. It was on the list for the, you know, the attachment to the list for the variance application, but I didn't see it anywhere. I didn't see where our staff had, you know, well, let me step back. So then the staff had findings, and our staff actually answered all the questions that are on that application, not the applicant. And so I'm really confused about, you know, why that application should be done, and those answers are by the staff and not by the applicant. I did see an email from, and that was in the exhibit, from the engineer. And that was on September 28th. Now, our planning commission meeting was on October 17th. And he had sent it to Ms. Forgo that there was significant grade changes internal to the project site, and ADA compliant sidewalks would not be easily achievable. From what I understand, the owner's intent is to limit the grading and disturbance with this project. That combined with the large lot size makes sidewalks impractical. Let me know if there's anything else that was needed. And he talked with Kelly also, and she'd be working on the paperwork and get that done as soon as possible. So it's really confusing because this is on the 28th. And then the only paperwork that shows that was filled out was on the 29th. And that was to come before the planning commission. But it was filled out on the 29th, and it says all requests should be submitted at 5 p.m. on the last Friday of the month, no less than 21 days prior to the Tuesday meeting of the planning commission of the following month. All other requests not submitted by that deadline will be retained and scheduled for the next planning commission meeting. So if you figure the dates of when this was done and when the planning commission is, there was not 20, it wasn't prior to 21 days. That's even counting the weekend days. That's not counting just the week where, 5 days a week. So, and also on that, that it was very, variance requests as to the topography on the 70 acres will not accommodate. Please see engineer's letter. But they're supposed to be asking where the relief that they're supposed to be in the ordinance and where they're supposed to be getting the relief from for the variance. It wasn't mentioned in her request, nor was it mentioned in the engineer's email. Okay, so the next one was Appendix A, 14B of our ordinance reads, residential development with more than 50 developable lots shall have a minimum of 2 access points. So I asked the question while I was at the planning commission, and the planner answered the question because I said, I don't see 2 access points, and our ordinance says this. And I was told that they were supposedly going to do one through the remainder of the golf course to it, but it's not on the preliminary plat, it's on the sketch plan, it's not there. So, their plan, I think, was to move forward with approving this. And even on the staff findings, and said the applicant and the preliminary plat plan has met the requirements, Lawrence County Code of Ordinances, except for the sidewalk requirements, and the technical review staff members have no objection to the applicant's variance request. Staff is prepared to approve the plan plat upon approval of the variance request by the county commission. So it was my understanding that the technical review committee did actually approve the development, I think afterwards. But, there was so much that I thought was just odd about this and the dates and everything else. And why did our staff, when you read through the stuff, our staff calculated the slope and the percentages to determine the slope ranges? Shouldn't that be the job of the applicant engineer? When we look at the application on the planning site for the major subdivision preliminary plat submittal checklist, that was very incomplete, and it says that it's supposed to be completed. It's just a lot of concerns with how this process is going through with the technical review committee, that nothing's coming before the planning commission unless there is a variance being requested. And that's one of the last concerns I have is, how does anyone know when the technical review committee actually approves the development? I mean, is it going to be located anywhere? How do we know? Because when stuff come before the planning commission, you actually knew when that approval was done. So in the process that we're having now, there's no way to know when they actually approve. I actually went to the building codes office at and went to the buildings code office and asked, and it said it was approved by the technical review committee in October, and I'm assuming the date after the planning commission. So how do we know? Let's say somebody wanted to appeal a development. How did they know when it was approved? There's no way in this, the way we've got it set up, for a person to have any idea when something is approved, isn't approved, when it comes to the fact. And like I said, I wouldn't have noticed all this stuff and went through this stuff if it hadn't been coming for a variance. I know it's on the website, but it's got incomplete information on there on the planning website. So I want y'all to try to look at it like that. I mean, how does the public know how this is when they approve something? I mean, there's supposed to be a 30-day appeal. Well, what's the date that they approved it for somebody to appeal if they desire to do so? Anyway, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. There is supposed to be, and I've seen it in the past, a place on the website that shows proposed and approved subdivisions. I will not sit here and promise you that it is up to date,
Okay.
but I know that it exists, and staff will look in to make sure that is up to date.
Okay.
All right, that is the only public comment we had signed up, so we will move into old business. Are there any submissions for? Thank y'all for coming. Are there any submissions by council members for appointments to boards, commissions, or committees? Hearing none, we will move on. Mr. Coleman, hope you want some soft cues tonight.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna be out here for a minute. Council, we have a plethora of economic development projects this evening to review. We are immensely blessed to have such an active development corporation. So first off, I'll thank you one time tonight instead of thank you for all y'all's hard work. Then thank you for all you do as well. We appreciate y'all greatly, but John's only second and third readings unless you have something to add, and we'll probably just blow on through them, but you stop at any point you feel necessary. First up, second reading ordinance 950, amending that Abbeville County Park Agreement for Project ACE. Do I have a motion? Approved. Motion by Mr. Tribble. Second by Mr. Rankin. Is there any discussion? Here now, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Next is second reading ordinance 951. Project Tomahawk. This is amounted as a $5 million project with roughly 30 to 40 employees. And we will be doing that ordinance on adding it to the industrial park later on this evening. Do I have a motion to approve second reading of ordinance 951? Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Tribble. Mr. Tribble, is there any discussion? Here none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. All right, up next is the public hearing for Project Zero. I will acknowledge on this one if you would like to add anything that's being third and final reading for that project.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, as I've told y'all several times, this is a project, ZF Transmissions is doing a large expansion, over $600 million, creating 400 new jobs, which is the largest single project ever had in Lawrence County. We appreciate their continued commitment to our county, and this project sets them up for many years to come. So with that, I'll step aside for everybody else here.
That was now 7:02. Welcome the floor for public hearing. If anyone is here to speak, please step forward and state your name. Seeing no one, we will close public hearing. And I'll call for a motion for third and final reading of ordinance 945, Project Zero Speed Limit.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Rankin.
Second.
Second by Ms. Clark. Is there any discussion? And then I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. This is a tremendous project coming to this addition to this county. We are blessed to have that. I am on Paul's council. I messed up. There is a recommendation for a workforce report board in our packet that I inadvertently skipped over. So we're going back up to 9A1. This is, as you can see in your packet, there are two folks that are recommended to fill 2 vacant positions. Begin on the glasses. Gracious. Amanda Munyon, of course, and Jenny McAllen, Fiber Techs, and Ms. Amanda Munyon from Lawrence County Chamber. We need a motion on these, Mr. Cruikshank, so we all know this. Okay. So I will take a motion from council to approve these 2 folks to join the Workforce Development Board of the Upper Savannah.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Carroll, second by Mr. Tribble. Is there any discussion? Here none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0, and thank Dr. Savannah. They do a lot of work for our county as well as others, and we're fortunate to have so many local folks on all their boards, including Ms. Anderson and so we are thankful for that. Just want to give you a little break there. Up next, we have a public hearing and third reading for Project Time, which is announced as the power tax expansion.
Yeah, and it's just a 2-year amendment to their special program to help offset some costs they had with the sewer line, and they actually helped pay them. CF all the way to the great.
All right, we'll give a second. We'll open the floor at 7:04 for public hearing on ordinance 946. Power tax. If you'd like to speak, please step forward. Seeing no one, we will close public hearing. Now open the floor for third and final reading of ordinance 946, power tax fee levy. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Tribble, second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. All right, up next, assignment of FELA revenues for economic reinvestment fund, public hearing. Ordinance 947.
We're kind of going through it a good bit.
Yeah, the time is 7:05. We'll open the floor for public hearing on ordinance 947. Seeing no one, we will close public hearing. I will open the floor for third and final reading of ordinance 947, assignment of FELA revenues for economic investment. I have a motion. Motion by Ms. Clark. Second by Mr. Rankin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Up next is third reading of public hearing for ordinance 948. It was Project Sound. It was announced to Alu Press.
Alu Press, which has been in Hunter Industrial Park now for about 15 years, is doing the expansion of $26 million and 64 new jobs, and they're a tier 2 automotive supplier. Anyway, they've done a great job in our county over the last 15 years.
Wonderful. It's always nice to see current ones expanding, and that says a lot about Lawrence County and their investment time. That's the time is now 7:06. I'll open the floor for public hearing on ordinance 948. Project Sound, now known as Alu Press. Seeing no one, I'll close public hearing and open the floor for third and final reading, ordinance 948. All those, do I have a motion? Motion by Ms. Clark. Second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, say this back when we were discussing Project Zebra or CF's big announcement. The governor's office will be doing a release on that tomorrow at 2:00. But their Department of Commerce and the company and us working with the governor's office to do more of a press conference type, with all of us. And sometime it's CF and the governor's office trying to put that schedule out. So, I know we wanted to make a big deal out of it. We were going to try to do it in conjunction with this meeting or tomorrow, but with the governor's schedule and such, it just got complicated. So we'll do that at a later date.
While we're going through that, if you don't mind, I'm curious to know what our total is for tonight for the investment and the people. Like, we're going to keep going.
Oh, yeah, keep going. I'll add it up.
Thank you. Up next is third and final reading public hearing, ordinance 949, and that's the amendments to the property Lawrence County Water Sewer Commission. I do see Mr. Field here. Would you like to say anything, Jeff?
Really just take this moment to say thank you. Appreciate all the hard work that Sandy has put into this, and also Randy Howard here, and he's been a tremendous asset and still is throughout the entire process of getting this tank. So thank you for that. Answer really good question.
Any questions from council on this particular project? I just want to say thank you. I know we had a little hiccup there with the airport being so close. You don't think about it. It feels like it's far enough away, but I know we had some pipe issues and whatnot. And I appreciate you working through that with us to ensure we were covered on the aviation side. So thank you so much. All right, the time is now 7:09, and I'll open the floor for a public hearing. It's 9:49, conveying and receiving property with the Lawrence County Water Sewer Commission. Seeing no one, we will close public hearing, and I will open the floor for a motion for third and final reading of ordinance 949.
Motion approved.
Motion by Mr. Rankin, second by Ms. Clark. Is there any further discussion? Here now, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. All right, we will now move into new business. Up first is an agreement with the Clemson Extension Office. I'll call the county attorney if there's any elaboration needed.
This is pretty much a iteration of agreement that has been ongoing for over a decade that I could remember. So this allows funding to Clemson Extension, and they provide services back to Lawrence County. And certainly recommend, the relationship has been great. Recommend authorizing the signature of the Clemson Extension agreement.
Further recognition of county attorney. I just mentioned that the resolution that there is $20,000. It has already been approved through the general budgeting process. It's in our current year budgets. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2023-38C? Motion by Mr. Tribble. Second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any discussion? And I'll call for all those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. And I would say I'm excited for Clemson Extension. They do a lot for our ag community now, and they are getting a brand new shiny facility along with the Ag Center over on Exchange Drive, and hope we'll be able to continue and expand their services to the community. We're excited about that. Up next, we have resolution 2023-42C. Project Tango inducement agreement, followed by the ordinance.
This is a solar farm that, as many of y'all know, we've had several of these. This one's actually being done by Duke Energy, so. The other ones we've done are developers that do these things, and you guys approve them, but have to get the FILO before Duke will approve them. But this one's being done directly by Duke, so I think it'll be a good thing, but it's got it's over 100 megawatt per acre solar farm, and over the 30-year life of the fee, we're gonna average $4,750 per megawatt, so you're looking at over average $500,000 on a property that's, there's no solar there. It's good. It's just good for something like this.
Yeah. And I appreciate, I know we have these come to town periodically in certain areas that are maybe more meant for industrial development. And I appreciate finding a place that's more appropriate and not tying up a valuable land. All right, do we have a motion to approve resolution 2023-42C? The inducement agreement for project Tango. Motion by Mr. Curley, second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any discussion? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. For the same project, we'll do the first reading on their FILO ordinance, ordinance 952. Motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Carroll. Second by Ms. Clark. Is there any discussion? And I'll call for motion or a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Up next is ordinance 953. This is amending the Octagon Park to add project Tango. Motion to approve ordinance 953. Carol. Second by Mr. Yanis. And just as a reminder, Octagon 1, which this one's going into, is not a geographically bound park. It's just a countywide park, but each time we add a new group to them, we have to do it by ordinance via tax number. Is there any discussion? Here now, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. All right, up next, we have approval of resolution 2023-43C, which is the project backdraft inducement agreement.
So this is another expansion of one of our existing industries that have been here for 15 or so years. $8.9 million investment and 48 jobs.
Great news. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2023-43C, project backdraft inducement? Motion by Mr. Rankin, second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any discussion? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 0. Following that, of course, is the first reading of the ordinance for their FILO agreement, ordinance 954. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Rankin. Second by Mr. Carroll. Is there any discussion on backdraft FILO? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Next is the added agenda item, ordinance 955. It will read pretty much identical to ordinance 953. It is adding project Tomahawk into the Octagon Park. Of course, on second reading, we'll have the actual tax map numbers and the do I have a motion to approve ordinance 955 and name only project Tomahawk being added to the County Industrial Park? Motion by Mr. Green. Second by Mr. Ryan. Is there any discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Last but certainly not least, we have approval of the 2024 holiday calendar. We are going to prepare early this year. This is to accommodate our.
Mr. Chairman, I know you're on the roll, but to answer your previous question. The total investment of all the projects tonight, not counting the solar farm, is $660 million, and a total of 540 jobs. If you count the investment that the solar farm will be, it'll be over $750 million. And Sandy and Thomas and all y'all for helping us get here. The $600 million projects.
And the fact that it's somebody that has invested here and sees continued development and continued growth and prosperity here in Lawrence County is awesome. So we're grateful for that. All right, thank you. Last but certainly not least, the holiday calendar. We're bumping this up a month early to accommodate the court system as they try to send court dates on out into the next year. We want to make sure we're good neighbors to our fellow elected officials. You see it here for review. Mr. Higgs, is there anything that changed from this past year?
No changes over last year outside the calendar dates changing. Different dates this year, but no additional or subtracted holidays. Okay.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the 2024 holiday calendar? Motion by Mr. Roman. Second by Mr. Perry. Is there any discussion? I will say so 14 days on the calendar, which is more than what some folks give. So I want to thank our hardworking employees and know that we do try to get a day off every now and then. You know how it's, I appreciate this council being willing to give the days off that we give, and I know that staff and administration is extremely thankful for that. All right, we have a motion on the table. Second.
I was looking at.
So, Anderson Robertson is November of 2024. Veterans Day falls on our meeting day. And we will address that when we come out with the council schedule at the next meeting. And I'll go ahead and ask now, does council have any objection to meeting on Veterans Day? Would they rather meet on a separate day? We'll discuss that and we'll go ahead and put out the council calendar next month. Sanderson, thank you for pointing that out. Trying to make sure there weren't any others that included. January is good. Yeah, we'll address that in the next one. Thank you so much. All right, voting on the 2024 vacation holiday calendar. Do we have any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. That is all the new business we have tonight. We do have one matter for executive session. One matter around the county attorney's office. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session? Motion by Mr. Rankin, second by Mr. Carroll. The time is now 7:20. We will enter an executive session at 7:30. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0. Thank you. Appreciate you, John.
Yeah.
No, the next, these items are like.
They peel them, they core them. Really? Oh, wow.
She only gets.
Okay. We have a girl that we worked with, she had a horse, how old was Alexa, 9, I think? Was it? She was young and something, she fed her the wrong hay. Yeah, and yeah, she spent a fortune.
It's easy.
Mhm.
It's easy. Somebody.
Yeah, that's, now we're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We good, Shane. Thanks for that summary. That's pretty neat. That's a pretty concise summary, and I'm glad to have it. Appreciate your work putting it together. We understand. Now 7:50, when we call this council session back to order. County council met in executive session to discuss appointment matter. From the county attorney's office. No votes were taken in executive session. I'll now open the floor for a motion. Do I have a motion to enter into a professional services agreement with Mr. Cruikshanks for services related to the county attorney's office? So moved, Mr. Chairman. Motion by Mr. Tribble. Second by Mr. Yance. Is there any discussion? And then I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed? Motion passes 6-1. Is there any other business on the table this evening? Hearing none, we will have our county council comments. We'll start on my right with Ms. Clark. Mr. Rankin. That's right.
Briefly, Mr. Chairman, that the Blue Hose beat Vanderbilt University in basketball, beat them up. And they're beating up Citadel now. I just wish I knew exactly how bad, but my Red Devils are, man, they have to declare a mercy rule on the other, let the other team off by 11 o'clock. But other than that, everything's just okay.
To answer your question, it is 35-31 at halftime. Correct, Gary. Ms. Yance. No. Ms. Anderson.
You know, this is the month where we have Thanksgiving and we're going into Thanksgiving into the Christmas holiday. And it is always a time to be thankful because we have a lot to be thankful for. Occasionally, I know we feel like we're bombarded with so much as far as the news is concerned, with a lot of multiple killings, war going on between any and everybody. But I hope as we do go into the Thanksgiving period that we are grateful for what we do have and who we are and where we are at this time, and be able to spread some of the joy and some of the gratitude toward other people as we go through life.
Thank you.
I will say that Veterans Day or anything dealing with military is a little special to me now because my son's active duty Navy, so I got to spend Veterans Day with him. He's back here for a few days, so I'm just glad to be able to do that.
Wonderful. Please thank him for his service from us. I'll be brief. I've mentioned Veterans Day already too, but thank you to the veterans that serve. They do something that I wouldn't want to do. there are men and women out there who desire to go do that. It's truly a calling. To echo on some PC Blue Hose, the last home football game is this Saturday at 1 o'clock. It's always a good time with, Day of the Memorial. We don't always win, but they play good, and it's a good time to watch if you're not doing anything on a random Saturday. Go on and check them out. With that being said, I hope everybody has a good Turkey Day. Don't eat too much stuff. And we'll be back here again in December. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. 7-0, and if you could hang out, the county attorney's got plenty of stuff to sign.